Hey y'all, today I'm going to talk about dumping my bike again. Yeah, so make sure you hit like and subscribe so you can follow along as I go through all of my happy little faux pas on the bike. Come on. Okay, so what happened was I was up in the mountains. I decided to go up, was the week after Labor Day. And I just went up for 2 days. It rained all that week. And I had the whole week off because I had planned on going riding. Well, you know, nature had other plans. So the 2 days that were going to be dry were Thursday and Friday. So I rode up on a Thursday and I went up to Marion, Virginia and hit the back of the Dragon. It rained off and on all day long. So, of course, I did the back of the Dragon and then got to Tazewell and went on to do the head of the Dragon. And as anybody who has ever tried to drive through West Virginia will know, GPS and West Virginia do not get along, period. And everyone I've said that to, they're like, yeah, nobody has GPS in West Virginia. So my GPS took me to places I have no idea why. I mean, dead end roads. Turn here. And I was on the right road to begin with, but then it wanted to take me on a dead end road. Well, the other little faux pas I was having during my trip was my phone keeps losing battery. And my battery charger on my phone also died. So I had to keep stopping and charging my battery, which took up very valuable daylight time. Throw in rain, throw in West Virginia, throw in the mountains, and I was running out of daylight. So I decided this is probably not wise to be up in the mountains in the dark, in the rain. Let's cut it loose and make my way back to my Airbnb in Tazewell. Well, so next thing you know, I am getting ready to make a right-hand turn onto Highway 16. Now, it sounded like a good idea at the time. I did not realize that 16 all the way down is called the Trail of the Dragons for a reason. When I went to make this right-hand turn, what I did not know is that it was not a right-hand turn. It wasn't even a U-turn or a switchback. This was a V. And you know what? I'm going to post it right there so you can see it. It's a V. A right-hand V back. And when I started turning, I came up on the turn a little too fast. And then when I turned and realized it was a very sharp V back, there was another car coming the other way. So of course what happened? I had my handlebars turned, I hit the brakes, boom, down I went. This is one of those times when I am so thankful that my guardian angel works overtime. I hadn't seen a cop the entire day riding all the way up to Marion, all the way through the back of the Dragon, all the way around the head of the Dragon. I have no idea where this cop came from. Literally. He happened to see me go down, pulled right in behind me, flipped lights on. As me and the lady from the car are trying to lift my bike up, here comes this man. Up it went. Done. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, where did you come from? So I was very, very, thank you, Lord. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My guardian angel works overtime. She's definitely that poor little haggard, you know, wings, smoking, having a adult beverage in the corner. Like, Lord. I digress. I'm sorry. Anyway, we get the bike up and he gives me a different route to get back to Tazewell. And I make it back to Tazewell. I did end up completing the head of the Dragon by the route that he sent me, which was pretty funny and ironic. I did end up back on 16 for the very last part of it, going back into Tazewell in the dark, in the rain. That was a bit scary, but lived to tell about it. And then the next day I did the back of the Dragon down. So I ended up doing it twice. and had a fantastic time. So Back of the Dragon really rocks. Head of the Dragon rocks. Trail of the Dragons. I didn't even know there was a Trail of the Dragons. So that is definitely going to be on my list to hit the Trail of the Dragons in 16, because whew, that is a fun ride. That is fun. And I don't know when my next trip is going to be, but I keep looking at videos on, of course, how to not drop your bike. And I'm not sure that there was a way to avoid. I mean, of course you can avoid it. You can avoid it very carefully. And if you're prepared for that, but I was not prepared for a V going back. I mean, if it would have been to the left, it would have been so much better, but it was to the right, and down she went. So now I'm sporting bruised ribs on the right side because, you know, I want to match. And since I already got the whole left side, we're going to go for the right side. So now the right side's bruised up. Now, I will say one thing that I was very, very sad about, and I did not know until the very next morning, but apparently I hit my hand or something when I went down and hit the pavement. And I have a claddagh ring that my children gave me because I'm Irish and I've always wanted one and I've never had one. And they gave me one for Christmas a couple years ago, and it broke and fell off somewhere in the wreck. And I was sad. I was very sad about that. And I hated telling them when I came home that I lost my ring. But of course they were a little more concerned about me dumping the bike and going down, but I'm more upset about the ring. And the bruised ribs. Oh gosh, these things take forever to heal. I mean, at least I didn't have to go to urgent care or anything like that this time. It's just, I'm 56 and I don't do that stop, drop, and roll thing like I used to when I was younger, and it takes a little while. So anyway, but I highly recommend Back of the Dragon. Tazewell is a very cool little town. They have a couple of Lovework signs. I should post those. We'll have a couple Lovework signs that were in Tazewell. Of course, I got them at night. Took the pictures at night. There is a really cool place to stop and eat. It's called the Front Porch, and it's got like this little bar area. It's like an old house. It's got this big front porch if you want to go sit there and eat. And it was a really cool place. The bartender will mix up custom drinks, and and if you go on Thursday night, the local volunteer fire department hangs out there. Cool bunch of dudes. They were a lot of fun. So shout out to Tazewell. Shout out to Tazewell Volunteer Fire Department. And shout out to the Front Porch. And the people at Back of the Dragon store, they were super cool. Really nice. And that's it for today's episode. Y'all be safe riding. And see you on the next adventure.